Chapter 2, The Path of Yoga and the Path of Tantra. Questions. What is the difference between yoga and Tantra? On the path of surrender, how to come to the right technique? How to know if the technique is being practiced will be successful. There are many reasons. The first, what is the difference between traditional yoga and Tantra? Are they the same? Tantra and yoga are basically different. They reach the same goal, however, the paths are not only different but contrary also. So this has to be understood very clearly. The yoga process is also methodology. Yoga is also technique. Yoga is not philosophy. Just like Tantra, yoga depends on action, method, technique. Doing leads into being in yoga also, but the process is different. In yoga, one has to fight. It is the path of the warrior. On the path of Tantra, one does not have to fight at all. Rather, on the contrary, one has to indulge, but with awareness. Yoga is suppression with awareness. Tantra is indulgence with awareness. Let me read that again. Yoga is suppression with awareness. Tantra is indulgence with awareness. Tantra says that whatsoever you are, the ultimate is not opposite to it. It is a growth. You can grow to be the ultimate. There is no opposition between you and the reality. You are part of it. So no struggle, no conflict, no opposition to nature is needed. You have to use nature. You have to use whatsoever you are to go beyond. In yoga, you have to fight with yourself to go beyond. In yoga, the world, and moksha, liberation, you as you and you as you can be. The two are two opposite things. Suppress, fight, dissolve that which you are, so that you can attain that which you can be. Going beyond is a death in yoga. You must die for your real being to be born. In the eyes of Tantra, yoga is a deep suicide. You must kill your natural self, your body, your instincts, your desires, everything. Tantra says accept yourself as you are. It is a deep acceptance. Do not create a gap between you and the real, between the world and nirvana. Do not create any gap. There is no gap for Tantra. No death is needed. For your rebirth, no death is needed, rather a transcendence. For this transcendence, use yourself. For example, sex is there. The basic energy you are born with. The basic cells of your being and of your body are sexual. So the human mind revolves around sex. For yoga, you must fight with this energy. Through fight, you create a different center in yourself. The more you fight, the more you become integrated in a different center. Then sex is not your center. Fighting with sex, of course, consciously, will create in you a new center of being, a new emphasis, a new crystallization. Then sex will not be your energy. You will create your energy fighting with sex. A different energy will come into being and a different center of existence. For Tantra, you have to use the energy of sex. Do not fight with it, transform it. Do not think in terms of enmity. Be friendly to it. It is your energy. It is not evil. It is not bad. Every energy is just natural. It can be used for you. It can be used against you. You can make a block of it, a barrier, or you can make it a step. It can be used. Rightly used, it becomes friendly. Wrongly used, it becomes your enemy. But it is neither. Energy is just natural. As ordinary man is using sex, it becomes an enemy. It destroys him. He simply dissipates in it. Yoga takes the opposite view, opposite to the ordinary mind. The ordinary mind is being destroyed by its own desires. So yoga says stop desiring. Be desireless. fight desire and create an integration in you which is desireless. Tantra says, be aware of the desire, do not create any fight, move into desire with full consciousness, and then when you move into desire with full consciousness, you transcend it. You are into it, and still you are not in it. You pass through it, but you remain an outsider. Yoga has much appeal because yoga is the opposite of the ordinary mind. So the ordinary mind can understand the language of yoga. You know how sex is destroying you, how it has destroyed you, how you go on revolving around it like a slave, like a puppet. You know this by your experience. So when yoga says fight it, you immediately understand the language. That is the appeal, the easy appeal of yoga. Tantra cannot be so easily appealing. It seems difficult how to move into desire without being overwhelmed by it, how to be in the sex act consciously with full awareness. The ordinary mind becomes afraid. It seems dangerous. Not that it is dangerous. Whatsoever you know about sex creates this danger for you. You know yourself. You know how you can deceive yourself. You know very well that your mind is cunning. You can move in desire, in sex, in everything, and you can deceive yourself that you are moving with full awareness. That is why you feel the danger. The danger is not in Tantra, it is in you. Because your ordinary mind, your sex-suppressed, sex-starved, self-indulging mind, because the ordinary mind is not healthy about sex, yoga has an appeal. With a better humanity, with a healthy sex, natural, normal, the case would be different. We are not normal and natural. We are absolutely abnormal, unhealthy, really insane. But because everyone is like us, we never feel it. Madness is so normal that not to be mad may look abnormal. A Buddha is abnormal. A Jesus is abnormal amidst us. They do not belong to us. This normalcy is a disease. This normal mind has created the appeal of yoga. If you take sex naturally, with no philosophy around it, with no philosophy for or against, if you take sex as you take your hands, your eyes, if it is totally accepted as a natural thing, then Tantra will have an appeal. But only then can Tantra be useful for many. But the days of Tantra are coming. Sooner or later, Tantra will explode for the first time in the masses because for the first time, the time is ripe to take sex naturally. It is possible that the explosion may come from the West because Freud, Jung, Wright, they have prepared the background. They did not know anything about Tantra, but they have made the basic ground for Tantra to evolve. Western psychology has come to the conclusion that the basic human disease is somewhere around sex. The basic insanity of man is sex-oriented. So unless this sex orientation is dissolved, man cannot be natural, normal. Man has gone wrong only because of his attitudes about sex. No attitude is needed. Only then you are natural. What attitude have you about your eyes? Are they evil or are they divine? Are you for your eyes or against them? There is no attitude. That is why your eyes are normal. Take some attitude. Think that eyes are evil. Then seeing will become difficult. Then seeing will take the same problematic shape that sex has taken. Then you will want to see. You will desire that you will hanker to see. But when you see, you will feel guilty. Whenever you see, you will feel guilty that you have done something wrong, that you have sinned. You would like to kill your very instrument of seeing. You would like to destroy your eyes. And the more you want to destroy them, the more you will become eye-centered. Then you will try a very absurd activity. You will want to see more and more. And simultaneously, you will feel more and more guilty. The same has happened with the sex center. Tantra says, accept whatsoever you are. This is the basic note. Total acceptance. And only through total acceptance can you grow. Then use your energy. Then use every energy you have. How can you use them? Accept them. Then find out what these energies are. What is sex? What is this phenomenon? We are not acquainted with it. We know many things through the sex act, but with a guilty mind, with a suppressive attitude, in haste and hurry. Something has to be done in order to become unburdened. The sex act is not a loving act. You are not happy in it, but you cannot leave it. The more you try to leave it, the more attractive it becomes. The more you want to negate it, the more you feel invited. You cannot negate it, but this attitude to negate, to destroy, destroys the very mind, the very awareness, the very sensitivity which can understand it. So sex goes on with no sensitivity in it, then you cannot understand it. Only a deep sensitivity can understand anything. Only a deep feeling, a deep moving into it can understand anything. You can understand sex only if you move in it as a guilty you can understand sex only if you move in it as a poet moves amidst flowers. Only then. If you feel guilty about flowers, you may pass through the garden, but you will pass with closed eyes, and you will be in a hurry, in a deep, mad haste. Somehow you have to go out of the garden. Then how can you be aware? That part's really important for me. I need to read it again. I'm starting to see this. It's like when I'm at ecstatic and I shut down and I don't want to connect with anybody because I'm afraid, I'm feeling guilty about taking the pleasure of experience, having these each individual experience moments with these other dancers, and maybe I'm afraid of what they're thinking or what they're feeling or what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling, and it's kind of silly because I really do shut down, and it's hard for me to imagine myself as a poet wandering through that field of flowers, all the flowers being the dancers who are inspiring me and also, moving with me, just like the wind blows through a field of flowers. But I'm separate from it because I have this moment of guilt where I'm like not able to connect, and I just want to look down and look away, and I'm working on it though. It's definitely something that I'm working towards, getting better at being with the other dancers on the dance floor. When people want to dance together, dancing with them instead of, just shutting down energetically. Find other ways to protect my energy besides doing that, because I think it's detrimental to the community that we're all supposed to be sharing and connecting, and when you do that, kind of shutting down in the moment when you're just about to connect to somebody, that's an energy that carries through a lot of different things. I notice it in other places in my life and other things that I'm doing, and it's important to recognize it so that we can change that, energetic paradigm into a closer representation of, the spaces that we're moving into, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th dimensions and beyond. Let's finish this later.